Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time, thank you for joining us. In today's tutorial, I will be teaching you how to make perfect trouser for your 5 to 6 years old. You can also replicate this for older boys. You're going to be learning how to make this perfect trouser. We'll be learning how to make zipper fly. We'll be learning how to attach your belt loop. You'll be learning how to attach your band, how to attach your pockets. If this sounds like what you would like to learn, let us get started. So I am using this material. You can get it in the market. You can just say you want suit material, because I'm making both the vest and trouser and bow tie for this child. Okay, and I'm using one trouser. You can also, if you are not going to buy per trouser, you can buy 1.5 yard. Remember, I am going to sew for the vest and the trouser and bow tie. Okay, so you place your fabric on fold. Remember, we are going to be doing all of our markings on the wrong side. I already made a tutorial on how to make the waistcoat. That's the previous video I made, so just go ahead and you check it out. So you fold your fabric and you come down by 2 inches. Just watch what I am doing. This tutorial is going to be very detailed, so if this is what you want, very detailed, just make sure you stick to the end. So you fold your fabric into 2, just like you see me do. Then you come down by 2 inches and you slant it to where you want. So now the next thing is to mark the length of the trouser. I am using 22 inches. So 22 inches, then I'm using 2 inches for the hemming allowance. That is the measurement I am using. I'm going to be telling you all of the measurements that I will be using. Also, I'll be putting it in the description box, so you can go ahead to check it out. All those measurements that I'm going to be using is going to fit perfectly to 4 to 7 years old. But if you have the client or your child with you, you can just go ahead and just take measurement. Okay, so now see the way I slanted. You just slant it a little bit. You can see I'm not drawing a straight line, so just slant it a little bit and you just connect it. Make sure you follow all the steps that I'm showing you so that you can have a perfect result. Okay, so you can just slant it just like ½ inch more than the beginning, which is the waistline. So now the next thing for us to do is to get our knee line. So if you did not measure the knee line, all you need to do is to divide your total measurement into 2, so it's going to work perfectly. So divide the total measurement, the length of your trouser, just divide it into 2 and you mark like so, just like I am doing. So now the next thing is for us to put our circumference on the lines. So for the waist circumference, we are going to be dividing it into 4. Okay, because you know the round circumference. So you place it, see the way I am positioning my tape rule. So you put 4 divided by your circumference. I'm using 22 plus 1 inch. Okay, so I'm using 6.5. 5.5 is the circumference plus 1 inch. Then you come down by 5 inch for the crotch plus 2 inches, so that is 7 in total. So you come out by 2 inches for the both line, both the 5 inches, just watch what I am doing, and the plus 2 inches. So you just connect it like so. Then you just give it that curve. As long as you draw this box, it will be very easy for you to just trace it out like so, or you can use your curve to do this. So you just mark your crotch just like you see me do. This is going to fit the boy perfectly. Just make sure that it is not too curvy and it is not too high. Okay, you can just come up by the box, just come up by 0.5. okay, so now we need to put our knee circumference. So you put your knee circumference divided by 2. Remember, I'm going to be putting all the measurements in the description box. So 13 divided by 2, That is the measurements that I put for the knee circumference. Now for the ankle circumference, it is 9 divided by 2. Knee circumference is 9, so divided by 2. That's the measurement I'm putting on the length. Then you connect just like you see me do, and you connect to your so for you to get the perfect see the way you can see that I came out a little bit, so that when you fold it's going to align. Or you can just fold this before you cut out, so that you know that you're getting the right measurements. Because if you cut it with the same measurement, when you want to fold it, you see that it's not going to go around. Okay, so you just go ahead and you do that. If it's for a girl, you're going to be putting a, but it's because it's not for a girl, so you just make, you can see the way I'm just giving it that curve shape. So you just connect it to your waistline. Now for our pockets, I am going in by 1.5. Then I'm going to be coming down by 5.5. See the way I slanted. You can see the way I slanted my tape measure. So that's what you're going to do. We go in by 1.5, then you come down by 5.5. That is okay for a child and to pass through. Okay, so you can see how simple this is. We are totally done with the marking and everything for the front part of our trouser. It is very simple. Just follow all of the details that I've mentioned. That is why I tried as much as possible not to cut out any part, so that you can see each step. So if you follow this, you're going to get a perfect result. So you just go ahead and you cut out everything that you've already marked. If you've gotten to this point, and if this is your first time that you're yet to subscribe, please make sure you subscribe, because there is more to come, more videos to come. And if you're confused about any part, just let me know in the comment section. But trust me, this tutorial is as detailed as you can ever get on this YouTube street. So just try to just take it one step at a time, and you're going to get a perfect result. After taking this course, or after watching this video, you will see how perfect that your trouser is going to start coming out. So just go ahead and you trim off all the parts that are unwanted. Watch the way I am placing my hand on the fabric. Okay, you need to, that is how you place your hand to cut, so that your fabric won't be moving all around. So go ahead, trim off all of the edges. Now your pocket side, you see what I'm going to do? I'm going to notch that part. Make sure that you do not notch too much, okay, so that when you fold like this, it's going to lay flat and it's going to come out seamless. Okay, so now the next thing for us to do is to cut out the back. It is on the back that we're going to be putting all of our allowances. So just watch how I am going to do it. Make sure that everything is aligned. Like I usually say, if it is not properly aligned, you're going to have issues. So you just mark a straight line here. You remember for the front, we slanted it by 2 inches. So for the back, you're just going to mark a straight line like we did. You extend all of the lines. So for the extension of the crotch for the back, you can use 2.5 to 3 inches for the extension of the back. So I'm just trying to get the measurement to make sure that it's going to align, and I'm trying to manage my fabric. Remember that I'm still going to make my waistcoat from this. That is why I'm trying to manage it. So you extend all of your lines, just like you see middle of your lines like this, so that we can put our allowances there. So now the allowances we're going to be putting is 2 inches. Okay, so you mark 2 inches on the hem, mark 2 inches on the hem. Now you mark 2 inches on the knee, then you put your measurement for thigh. Just put your measurement for thigh there, you measure it. Then if it is not enough, you can see, you just mark it. You can see what I do. Then from there, you will now mark your 2 inches. It is important that you do this, so that when you get to the thigh area, it's not too tight, so it's going to accommodate the thigh of the boy. Okay, now on the waistline, you just come out by 1.5. Remember all of the allowances we had in 2 inches, but for the waistline we are coming out by 1.5. Then you connect, you just connect like so. You connect to your waistline. Remember that we have another waistline, just like you see me do. Then you just curve it the same way that we did our crotch for the front. Now the next thing that we need to do is to connect all our lines. You can see that this is very easy. I'm also going to take you through the detailed way in which you can sew all of this and you achieve a professional look and professional finished trouser. So I'm just going ahead to just mark out all of my and join everything together so that it will be very easy for me to cut. So I'm just going to go ahead and arrange all of it and be sure that everything is laid flat, prim and proper, and I have the perfect measurement. Remember that if you have the wrong measurements, that is where everything will start going wrong. But if you use all of the measurement that I used, it's going to fit perfectly for the child, and I'm going to be putting it in the description box. Okay, so you can go ahead and you check it out. And if you want to make a vest as well for the child, just check my previous video. I already made a tutorial, edited tutorial on how to make a vest. So if you want more of kiddies dresses or suits, just let me know in the comment section. I am here for you to make your sewing journey easier. Okay, so anything you need, just put in the comment section. Make sure you comment, it's very important, and make sure you like. The more you do this, the more the platform is going to push it out to other people that needs it. So you just go ahead and you cut everything out like this. Now we need to get our dart, so you just fold it like so into two to the crotch of the front. Okay, then you notch the midpoint at the back. You can see the way I folded it. So you fold it to your crotch point and you notch. That is where our dart is going to be. Then you go ahead and you just the same notching that we did for the pockets for the front, we also do it for the back, so that we are sure that everything is on the same line, so that one pocket is not going to be lower than the other. We also extend the line for the pockets. Then you go ahead and you mark all of the wrong side, because after you cut this out now, you might not like quickly recognize where the front, the right side or the wrong side of the fabric is. That is why it is important for you to mark everything. So you go ahead and you mark everything so that you're sure that this is the wrong side. Now the next thing is for us to cut our facing. Remember that we are going to be putting zipper fly and everything and our band. So now the first thing we are going to do is to cut out our band. So just watch how I am going to go about this. So what you need to do, you get the width of our band is going to be 5 inches. You can see the way I marked it. You just mark your 5 inches all around and you get a straight line. It is very important that all your cuttings and all your lines are straight. So you mark 5 inches. 5 inches is going to be my band width. Then for the length, you need half of your waist circumference unfold plus 5 inches. So that means your circumference, your waist circumference plus 10 inches. That is what we are going to be cutting out. Okay, so your waist circumference plus 10 inches, that is what we are going to be cutting out for our band for the length, and the width is 5 inches. And you can see that I went ahead to mark the wrong side. It is very important that you do this so that you don't put the wrong side on the right side. Now I'm going to be cutting the facing for my pocket, also for the zipper fly. So I'm just going to cut out all of the pieces that I have here with me. So when we are sewing, I'm going to be telling you the measurements that we are going to be using. So to achieve a finishing, a very good and professional finishing, remember you need to serge all of your rough edges, or you use your overlocker. Okay, just make sure that you have that on hand, so you'll be able to come out with a very good finished product. So I'm just cutting out the facing and also the zipper fly. So now I have cut out all of my pieces that you need. You also need your zip. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to serge all around and show you. So I have gone ahead to overlock all of my rough edges. Remember that we're trying to achieve a very neat and professional finishing, so you're going to iron a lot. As you're sewing, you are ironing. If you fail to do this, when you are done sewing and you want to iron, it will not come out the way you actually desire. So for you to achieve a very professional look as you're sewing, you are ironing. If you watch the previous tutorial that I did for the jacket, you can see that we ironed a lot, and after sewing you can see how neat it came out and how professional. So now we need to work on our pockets. Okay, so you remember that we used 1.5 inches for the pocket. I'm just trying to notch it so that I know where I am and I won't have to measure again. So you notch the 1.5 inches, and I'm going to just iron everything out first. We need to prepare the pocket, so you need interfacing. Okay, but first of all, you iron all of the pieces everywhere you notch, so that everything can be straight and everything can be neat. So now you cut out a little piece. Just watch the way I'm placing it. I am placing it on the wrong side of my trouser. This is the front, okay, with the pocket is going to be at the front. So I'm just cutting out this piece. You can cut like 1.5 inch, okay, and I'm going to be fusing it on the wrong side, and I'm placing it, I'm going to fold it over like this, because if you do this, if you do all of this, you get all of your creases. I'm just trying to measure it so that I'm sure. If you do all of this, you iron it, you get all of your creases. When you are sewing, you see that it's going to be super easy for you and you won't have to struggle with it. So if you put your interfacing, you iron everything. Once you are sewing, you already know the lines that you're sewing. You already know where your you already know your measurements. You already know where they are, because you have all of these creases. So it's important for you to do all of this heavy work before you go to your sewing machine. When we get to our sewing machine, you will see how easy it's going to get, because we've already done all of the hard work. So after you must have done this, you're going to just cut out all of the excesses. So I'm going to do it for the other side as well. Everything you do for one side, you have to do it for the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it again for the other side. Remember, you place this in between the notched parts. Okay, see the way I did it, in between the notched parts. Then you fold it over to the right side like so that we can get our pockets. Okay, so you place your interfacing in between the notch part. So if you are cutting out 1.5, make sure that the center line is 0.75 is on that part that you notch. So you can see what I did. Make sure that everything you're doing is according to what I am doing, so that you can get your results that you desire. So I'm just going to go ahead and iron everything out, and you see the way I folded is that the notched part of the pocket, that is where our pocket is going to stop. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just cut out the excesses. So now the next thing is to work on the band. Now watch how I am going to go about the band. So you just iron all of your pieces. Remember that we're ironing all of this because we need neat finishing. And you can see that it's very important for you to mark your wrong side, because at the end of the day you might not know where the right side and the wrong side is. Okay, so now you cut out this stay. You can cut. I actually use 1.5 inch. You can use 1.25 for yours, but I used 1.5. I use 1.5 inch for the width. So you place it, see the way I placed it, you place it a little bit down, maybe like 0.5 or 0.25, depending on the measurements that you want to use for your sewing allowance. So I used 0.5 for my, came down by 0.5. Then I put my 1.5 inches interface, then I folded it like this so that I would get the center point. If you do this like this, regardless of the measurements that you're going to be using, you will see the results that is going to give you. Very neat results and very good finishing. So I am going to just cut out all of the excesses. Now watch what I am going to do next. You can see that one part is longer than the other. So what you need to do is just fold that part in to match up the measurements of the other side. See what I did? I folded the remaining parts in to match up the measurements. So you just do that, then you iron. It's very important that you iron. Once you are sewing, you understand the importance of just preparing all of our pieces. It's going to be very easy for us to do. So take your time to do this. There is no point rushing. Like I said, this tutorial is going to be as detailed as possible. This is like the most detailed tutorial you're going to see on this street of YouTube. So put a comment down in the comment section to appreciate the effort. Okay, so you just go ahead and you iron all of this just like you see me do. I'm just going to go ahead and iron to get all of my creases, and I repeated the same thing for the other side. Now for the zipper fly, you need 4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to be fusing it with interfacing just one part. You're going to be seeing what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to fuse this on just one part, and it is 4 inches wide, like the width of this zipper fly. So it is 4 inches. So you can see what I'm doing. I placed it on each other and I ironed, and I'm going to be doing this for just one part of the zipper fly. So just go ahead to just cut out the excesses and iron all of the facing as well, so that everything is going to be neat. Now let us work on the back piece. Remember that we've done for the front, the 2 parts, we've done for the zipper fly. So you just go ahead, just like we did for the front, you're going to iron the back, just iron it out so that everything will be neat. So now remember where we notched for our dart. So you're going to just fold it. You can see where we're going to, you can see where I'm folding the right side together. So I am ironing on the wrong side because that is where we are going to be taking our dart from. So it's important for you to do this. Once you do this, you're going to see that once you're on the sewing machine, it's going to be easy for you to know where you are putting your dart on. So you can see that I'm folding it together, the right side facing right side, and I am ironing on the wrong side because we're taking the dart from the wrong side. So now it is time for us to sew finally. So you can see the creases I have for the back. So I'm just going to fold it. It's very easy for me to fold like that because I already ironed that part, and note that you're not going to iron it down to the point, just a little bit. So I'm going to be using 3 inches for the length of my dart. Okay, so you just mark 3 inches. It is enough for a boy, and you just take your dart intake just like you see me do. So I used 0.125 and I wasn't satisfied. So now I'm going to increase my dart by using 0.5 inch for my dart. So that is 1 inch on both sides. So you add 0.5. 0.5 is perfectly okay. 0.5 inch for the dart. Then the length is going to be 3 inches. It is perfectly okay for a child. So I'm just going to go ahead and just get my stitches done for the back. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other side. If you've gotten to this point and you're here to subscribe, please make sure you do so. This is going to encourage me to do more detailed tutorial like this. And if you are confused on any parts, just let me know in the comment section. If you have any requests for me, let me know in the comment section as well. So I'm just going ahead to just mark this, and I really appreciate if you take your time to just watch this, because I am taking my time to also make this video to be as detailed as possible so that you are not confused on any part at all. And after you are done watching this video, you're going to become a professional. So just keep watching, okay? And like I said, you're going to be ironing a lot. So if you just open it like this, just go ahead and you iron it so that your pieces are going to keep looking neat as you go. Okay, so now we've done for the both side of the back. Now let us work on the front, the pockets. That's the first thing we are going to work on. Remember that I told you that after ironing it, everything is going to be easy for you. You understand why? See how we did the back. So now for the pockets, I'm going to be using 11.5 by 10.5 for my pockets bag. 11.5 by 10.5. That is the dimension I am using for my pocket bag, and I am using this suit lining for my pockets. So you're going to place, so you can see the way I positioned the pocket bag. So you place it on it just like you see me do. Okay, so you place it just like this. See the way I'm placing it to the opposite side like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew on that crease. Remember that it is 1.5. So that is why it's important for you to iron and you get all of your creases, so that it will be very easy for you to follow the line when you are sewing. See the way I position this? Just position it like that, and you sew down to the notched part of your pockets, the 5.5 that we used for our pockets. And it is important for you not to notch too much, so that after sewing you won't still be seeing where you notched out. Okay, so now after doing that, just watch what I'm going to do next. Then you fold it. It is very easy for me to fold it like this because I already ironed it out. So it has already retained that shape and formed that shape. So it's very important for you to iron. I can't overemphasize. Then you go ahead and you stitch on it just like you see me do. You can use like 0.125 and make sure that your stitches are straight and neat, because all of these are going to tell in your final results. If your stitches are wobbly, it's going to be, oh, this was made by a non-professional. So try as much as possible to get a straight and smooth stitches. Now you can see that our pocket is forming. So the next thing is for us to just stitch that opening so that we don't have anything flying all around after sewing. So we have to put everything in place and everything to be perfectly in alignment so that we can get our perfect finishing. So you can see what I did. I just stitched on that part so that we don't have anything flying all around. So now the next thing is for us, remember that we cut facing for our pockets. So you're going to place your facing on your pocket just like you see me do. Make sure it's the right side that is facing you, because that is the part that is going to show. So if you are using 1.5 for your pocket opening, your facing can be like 2 to 3 inches, okay, so that is going to cover up the opening, and that is what is going to be showing. I hope you understand. So if you're using 2 inches for your pocket opening, you can make your facing like 3 to 4 inches. So you just cut it and you just sew. You can see that is on the other side I am sewing, not that part. Just watch what I am doing and you just replicate and you follow. So you just sew on that other part, just like you see me do. Just do this quietly and gently, and remember that I've already overlocked all of my rough edges so that it's going to look neat and more professional. So now just watch what I am going to do, and you see that our pocket is coming to life. You can see what I did. See, after folding, you can see that it is that pocket opening, that pocket facing that it is showing. That is why it's important that your pocket facing is wider. It is wider than your pocket opening. Okay, so you can still make it 1 or 2 inches wider. So now we need to secure our pocket where we notched. So I'm just going to secure that place. Just double stitch or triple stitch just to secure that our pockets together. Now the next thing is to get our pocket opening. Remember that we used 1.5, so you have to make sure that it is 1.5 that you have as your pocket opening. Measure it and be sure that it's 1.5. If you're not getting it, just measure it again and make sure that it is 1.5 that you have. If you're using 2 inches for your pocket opening, make sure that when you measure it, it is 2 inches that you have. So I'm just trying to use my hand to smoothen it so that there is no bulgy or bulky part on the pocket, so that no part is puffing out. Okay, it's important that you do this so that your pocket can lay flat, because if you just sew it and one part is not laying down, it's not going to look good after sewing and after ironing. So it's important that you make sure that your pocket is the right measurement and also it is resting perfectly. So now I'm just going to go ahead and just stitch to secure the pockets, just like you see me do. So it's going to stay in place no matter all the mended that we are going to be doing on the pocket. Okay, so it's important that you do this. So you stitch it. Now on the pocket bag, I'm going to notch just like we notch the pocket on the main fabric. So I'm going to notch this. This is going to enable us to turn the pocket inside out, and also when we are sewing, so that to put the pockets inside so that it's not going to interfere with our joining. When we are joining the back to the front, you're going to see what I am doing. We have to make sure that the pocket is not in the way and is not stitched to the back. So if you notch it like this, you'll be able to just fold it inside when you are joining the back to the front. So you can see that I turned it inside out and I am sewing. I'm doing this so that all of the rough edges is going to be inside my pocket. Okay, so you just go ahead, you stitch from where you notched and you stitch all around and you double stitch to the end, just like you see me do. Then you trim off all of your excesses so that we don't have too much bulkiness. So you go ahead and you just turn it over back to where it's supposed to be, so you can see how neat it is on the outside. See that our pocket is forming and it's giving what it is supposed to give. If you've watched to this point and you're yet to subscribe, you are doing yourself a great injustice. And do not subscribe alone, make sure you put on the notification bell so that you will be the first to be notified. So after turning it back, you just stitch on it again just to secure the pocket. It's very important that you do this so that not after stitching, once they wear it, just put on and all your pocket is opening or something. So it's very important for you to just just secure it. Then you just secure it all the way to where you notched, just like you see me do. And I'm going to just cut out. You can see that as I'm sewing, I'm cutting out all of the excess thread. It's very important that you do this, because when you do professional work, you're not supposed to be seeing thread hanging all around. So that pocket is enough and big enough for a child to place his or her hand inside. Is perfectly enough. And you can see that my pocket, it is well laid down. So you go ahead and you iron. So I'm going to do this and repeat the same thing for the other side. So I've gone ahead to do that. So you can see we have the pocket for the right side and the left side. This is looking good already, and I told you ironing is going to make your life easier. Okay, so let's move to the next thing. Next thing is for us to work on the zipper fly. So you can see where I am working on first. Where you're working on first, see the way I position it. Okay, so I'm going to be using zipper fly. I'm going to be using 4.5 inch. This is enough for a child. It's going to fit perfectly once he opens the zip. So 4.5 is enough. Okay, is enough. So you mark your 4.5 on the left side of your trouser, the front trouser. It is very important that you follow this step. Very important that you follow this step. Okay, so where I position it is where you should position it. Don't position it in another way. So I'm cutting out 2 inches for my zip. I told you I'm going to be telling you the measurement when we are about to sew. So you just cut out 2 inches for the width, and the length should be obviously longer than your 4.5 inches, just a bit, not too much. Or you can cut too much, then you can always trim it off. So see the way I positioned it. Just watch what I am going to do. So you place it. Remember that we're working on the left side first. So you start sewing from your markings, and we're using 4.5. It's very important that you watch this. This is the simplest tutorial you're going to find on how to fix a zipper fly. So just follow carefully. So you mark from that 4.5, you sew it all the way to the top. Just sew it all the way to the top, just like you see me do. And we are doing this on the right side. Just follow this. If you've never sewn a zipper fly, after watching this, you see that you'll be able to do it. So you're going to flip all the you can see you put it over on the facing, then you stitch on top. Make sure you are stitching on the facing. So you top stitch on the facing and make sure the seams are on the facing where you are sewing. See the way I flipped the seams. So you flip it over to where you're sewing, then you just stitch a bit just by the side. You stitch it. Make sure you follow this. This is very easy for you to do. This is the simplest tutorial you're going to find on zipper fly. So just watch what I am doing carefully. If you are confused on any part, you can just go ahead and you go back and you watch it again. So it's not going to be too complicated for you to understand. If this is your first time, you're still going to get it. Remember that we are working on the left side, so just follow the steps. Now you get your zipper. You can see the zipper I am using. Then you turn it over. Make sure it is facing. You can see the way I positioned my zipper. I'm facing it down on that facing. You can see. Make sure it is facing down and it is beside your stitch. You can see the positioning. Then you stitch on that other side. Make sure that your zipper is perfectly placed. You can see that I made sure that it is stopping at that my 4.5. Okay, so you just do your own also like that. Make sure it is stopping at that 4.5 where your zipper is going to end, like the positioning of my zipper. Just follow this. Once you follow the step, you're going to get the perfect result. So that is why I'm not rushing, so that you follow through and you understand perfectly what we are talking about. So you can see that it is forming gradually once we fold it over like so. Normally you're supposed to just top stitch on that part, but I'm not doing that yet because I'm still going to fold my band. So you can just form your J. Just mark 1.5 to form that J that you see on zipper. So you just mark 1.5 and you just do your J to that point. But I'm not going to be doing that yet. You will see the reason why I'm not going to do that yet until I fix my band. Okay, that's why I'm going to do that. So now you get 4 inches. You remember the 4 inches that we cut out and we put our stay on, so you fold it into 2. So now we have 2 inches on fold. Then you place it under your zipper. Make sure it is the opening that is on the outside. You can see what I did. Where it is opened, the open part is the one on the outside, then the folded part is the one on the inside. Now after putting it under the zipper, the next thing is for you to just stitch on that part. You can see what I'm doing. So just go ahead and you just stitch. So our zipper fly is almost ready. Like I said, this is the simplest tutorial you're going to find on zipper fly, and I'm doing all of this in all. So like I said, all of your excesses you can always trim out after you are done. So you can see that it is almost forming. Okay, so now the next thing is to attach the right side of our front piece to it. So now in anything you're doing, you have to make sure that every part is aligned. Even when you're fixing your band, make sure your every piece is aligned. Make sure your seams are aligned. Okay, so you open your zipper. You can see the way I open the zip. Then I'm going to mark where the waist is starting from for the other side, and that is where I'm going to place the right side. Because if one part is longer or if one part is higher than the other, you're going to find out that you are not going to come out with a very good result, because after you fix your band, you see that they are not going to be aligned. So you have to make sure, you can see that I'm just making sure again that they are on the same line. It's very important for you to do this. Make sure they are on the same line, and you fold it. You can see the way I folded it. So you fold it just like I folded the other part, then you sew on it. Okay, so just fold it a bit, maybe like 0.125, then you stitch. It's important that you do this, and you are like done with your zipper fly. So I said this is very simple. So within 5 to 10 minutes you are done fixing your zipper fly. No complicated anything at all. Okay, so you just fold it, but as you're getting to the end, you open your fold. Just watch what I am doing. You can see I folded up to that point, but once I was getting down, I just opened the fold. That is why it's important for you to serge all of your rough edges. So as you're getting closer to the down parts, you just open your fold. Just open your fold so that it's going to align with the other side. Like I said, just follow my leadership and my guidance, and you're going to get a very good result. Okay, so now I am done doing that. You just watch what I am going to do next, and you see how our zipper fly is going to come out. You can see that our zipper fly is ready. Very simple and very easy to do. No complicated anything, measurements and all. So you can go ahead and you just stitch on top to get that your J shape for your zipper fly, but that is totally optional for now, and you will see why I am choosing not to do that. So after putting it like this, so remember that other part is going to be folded. So you're going to fold the other part like so, and you stitch on it. And you stitch on it. See what I did? You can see the way I positioned it. So you fold it like that, where you're supposed to put your J, and you stitch on it. You can see. That is why I said as you're getting down, you just open the folded part for the other part, and this is one of the reasons. So you'll be able to fold the other part and you stitch on it just like you see me do. So you just stitch on it like so. You can decide not to stitch over to the down part, and you just just join it individually together like so. That is totally up to you, and it is totally optional. So you are done with your zipper fly. It's as simple as it can get. Now the next thing is to join the back to the front. Okay, so you place the right side facing right side, then you place it on it you can see how I put my pockets inside. That is why I said you need to notch that part, so you'll be able to put that pocket bag inside, so it's not going to be stitched in between the front and the back. So after you've already positioned everything, you can go ahead and use pins to hold all of this together, so that you are sure that your legs are going to be aligned. But if you cut it rightly, you're going to see that your legs are going to align together. Make sure that you're going to cover up the stitches, like the notches, as you're sewing. So you just sew with 1/2 inch all round. Like I said, you can use your pins to hold the legs together, so that you're sure that you have the same measurement for both the front and the back. After I'm done sewing, you will see that my legs are going to match up because I cut out the right measurement. Make sure your pocket is not in between, so you just flip it over under like this. So I'm just going to just use 1/2 inch to sew it all around, so you can see that my legs are perfectly aligned together. So look at this, we are almost getting there. See how neat and how good and how professional this is looking. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the other part of my back piece. I'm going to be attaching it to the front. The same thing that I did for the other side, I'm also going to do it. So you can go ahead and you pin it down. It's totally optional. Make sure that the waist is aligned. Make sure that the pockets, the notch part, is also aligned. So I've gone ahead to sew that part. So now we want to fix our loop. So you measure your waist measurement, which is 11 inches on fold. Okay, so the remaining part, we are going to stitch it together just the same way you join your piece. So now to get our loop from where you marked, so you mark 1.5, that's where we're going to put in one of our belt holes. Then from the zipper fly, you measure 3 inches. We put in another belt hole there. So in between the first and the last, you get the midpoint. We are going to be putting our belt hole there. So we are going to repeat the same thing for the other side. So that means we have 6 belt holes, 3 on the one side, 3 on the other side. So for the belt holes, I cut out 2 inches width by 24 inches. See the way I'm going to fold it to get my belt hole. So I'm going to be folding it like this to get my belt hole. So I'm just going to stitch. So if you can just fold just the same way you fold your bias, you can go ahead and you just fold it like that. Just watch what I am doing, just follow my hand, then you just stitch on it. So you'll be stitching on 2 places, at the other part that is open and the other part that is closed, so that everything is going to look aligned and neat. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to stitch it all down, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch the other side as well. So you stitch the other side as well, so you have 2 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to do that. So I've gone ahead to do that, and I've gone ahead to cut out my pieces. So I'm using 4 inches for the length of my belt hole, and I have 6 of it. So we're going to be fixing our belt hole and our band together. See the way I open my zipper fly? That is how I'm going to be fixing it. Then you put the belt hole on the first one. Remember, it's 3 inches from the zipper fly. So you just place it underneath, just like you see me do. And see the way I open the zipper fly. Then you stitch on that line before the S-stay. Do not stitch on your S-stay. So the I told you that the allowance that you left is for your stitching allowance. So you stitch just by the side. Do not stitch on the S-stay. That is why it's important for you to just iron everything out. You can see, because we ironed everything all out, our work is actually very easy to do. Within 20 minutes, you're done sewing with everything. So I'm just making sure that it is perfectly aligned. See where I am positioning it. So you just put your belt loop, you just put it underneath your band. That is why it's important for you to just do all of your markings, so that as you're sewing, it's going to be very easy for you to do. So I'm just going to stitch all around. I'm going to repeat the same thing and put it on the other parts that I already marked, just like I did. Make sure it is underneath, and you stitch on the allowance that you left on the band. So you're going to do everything now. So I've gone ahead to do that. So the next thing is for you come down by 0.5, then you double stitch. Okay, so you come down, you double stitch 0.5, you do it all around, you stitch. So I have gone ahead to double stitch 0.5 on the band, so you can see what I did. 0.5, I did it all around for all of the loop. So now watch what I am going to do next. For the right side, just watch what I'm going to do. But first of all, we need to cut off all of the excesses, because you don't want that part of your zipper fly to be too bulgy. So any part that is not necessary, you just cut it out. And before you cut out, make sure that your zipper is opened. Okay, just like you see me do. Like I said, just follow my lead and you're going to achieve the same results and even better results than I did. Okay, so I'm just cutting off all of the excesses just to reduce the bulk. Now watch what I'm going to do for the right side. I'm just going to flip it over. I see the way I flipped it over. You can see that is very important to iron. So as I have ironed, I know where my midpoint is. So you can do this, you can finish this up in different ways. You can just give it this curve edge, just to give it a bit of flare, just like I did. Just watch what I am going to do. Remember, I flipped it over to the right side. I'm just making sure that I have that same line. Okay, so you just stitch on it like so. Just watch what I am going to do. So you go ahead and you just stitch. Just watch how I am going to curve my hand. Remember, this is totally optional. Okay, if you don't want to do it this way, it is perfectly okay. You can just do a straight stitch. You can see the shape that it is giving me. So it's, you know, a bit different from normal way you're going to finish up your band. So it's not necessary for you to do it this way. You can just do a straight finishing, like a straight stitch, so that you just have the normal conventional way that you fix your band. And remember that we are doing this on the right side, so take note of all the sides that we are doing each of all of these pieces. Is very important. I'm just trying to emphasize that you can just do this on a straight stitch, just like I said. So you can go ahead and you just trim off all of the excesses and you stitch on that part just to hold it in place. So now let us work on the left side of our zipper fly, and you see how neat and how good this is going to come out. So from your zipper, you can just mark 1 inch. Just mark 1 inch, it is enough. Then you just fold a bit. So you can see what I did. You fold the remaining allowances that you have, and I already stitched the part, so I don't have to worry about that zipper fly, but I need to close up the band. So you just fold whatever you have, just like you see me do. So just fold the remaining from 1 inch. It is actually enough. So I'm just trying to make sure that I have the right measurement and it is perfectly aligned. So you fold it just like you see me do, and you stitch on it. So just go ahead and you stitch. All the way. And always remember to cut off all of your excess threads. Always remember to cut off all of your excess thread. Now watch what I'm going to do. You're going to fold, see where your zipper, your fly is starting from, that is where you're going to fold it. See the way I folded it. So you fold it to the back like that, so that the right side is facing each other. Then you stitch before the interfacing. Your midpoint, you stitch on the midpoint. You understand? Your center line, the folded edge, that is where you stitch. You not stitch on, do not stitch on your interface, please. Always remember that. Just stitch on that line that you've already made the center part. You just stitch it over just like you see me do to that point. Now you watch what I'm going to do next. Remember that we're trying to remove as much bulk as possible. So you just cut it out. See the way I cut it out? You see how perfect this is going to turn out. Just watch it. So I'm just cutting it out gently. Don't worry, we're almost done. And I just folded it and I'm bringing out the rough edge. You can see how neat this is. Can you see? You can see that it is secured. Look at how neat and how good this. Even without stitching, you can see how good this is looking. See? I love this. I love this. And I wish that you also can replicate this. Okay, so whenever you replicate this, just send it to me on Instagram, or you can send it to me via mail. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and make that J shape. This is why. So I've made the J shape. Just mark 1.5 inch from the starting line of your zipper fly, then you sew it to where your zipper is stopping from. So it's very easy and to do like that. So the next thing is for us to join the center back together. Remember that we already marked where our waist is going to stop when we wanted to fix our belt loop. So that is where we're going to sew, and you have to make sure that the seams are aligned. Like I said, not that one part is going to be like 0.125 lower than the other part. Make sure that before you stitch that the seams are aligned. You can see that I'm checking again just to make sure that my seams are aligned. It's very important for you to do this. These are little things that set apart a professional work and somebody that is just, so you just go ahead and you stitch. And the measurements that you used to stitch, as you're going down, you keep reducing it to the crotch length. You should not use the same measurement all through to the parts to the end. So you just keep reducing until you get to ½ inch, okay, or however inch that you're able to do. So you just keep, you can see the way I position my hand. So I've gone ahead to do all of that. My phone wasn't recording, so I'm just going to explain everything I did why it wasn't recording, because the memory was full. So I'm just going to explain it. So after joining the side, all you need to do next is to join the legs together. And remember that for our ankle circumference, it is 9 inch. So unfold is going to be 4.5. okay, so you're going to just put it together just like you see me do. Then you mark your 4.5 or whatever the circumference that you used for your knee circumference. Then you stitch all around. You don't need to measure your knee circumference again. So just use the same measurements that you used for your to join the ankle. You just use the same measurements. It's going to fit perfectly. So you repeat the same thing for the other side. Then you stitch to the crotch part. Then you open the seams and you double stitch on that part. Your center back as well too, so you double stitch it as well. Now for the band, okay, this is what I did. Remember that it's already folded because we already ironed it and everything is already in place. So you just stitch from the right side. Now where you are going to stitch, I just stop stitched on that part. Where you're going to stitch is very important. We don't want our seams to show, so you're going to be stitching in between the seam. I wish you could see this. You cannot see my stitches at all. You stitch in between where you joined the band to the front part. So if you see, you're not going to see your seams at all. You're not going to see the stitches at all, and it's going to hold it in, because remember that we folded that inside together. So you just stitch in between just like you see me do, and it's going to come out neat. Now for the belt loop, so all you need to do is just to fold it and you stitch on top. Then you just cut out the excesses. So you just fold it and you cut out any excesses that you have. Then you go ahead and you give it a very good press. Important. You can see that our pocket is actually out now and looking all good. The next thing is to finish our hem. You can use invisible hemming, or you can use your hemming gum to just secure all of this with the allowance that you left. Remember, we left 2 inches allowance, so I'm just going to finish up all of this iron. Then you put your button, or you put your hook and eye there, and make sure that it is actually looking good. So that is all that about our trouser. So make sure that you try this out if you have any question, but I'm sure that with all of my explanation and the time that I left just for you to understand this, you're going to get it seamlessly. So thank you so much for watching. I am grateful. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you comment, and check out to make your vest as well. So thank you so much. See you in my next tutorial. Bye.